Happy Friday, everybody. Thanks so much for downloading or streaming the Be Our Guest podcast. Hope you're getting ready for a great weekend. Thanks for being here. Ricky and Pam join me today, and we recap last weekend's Destination D23 announcements that relate to Walt Disney World and give our thoughts on how they're going to affect our future Disney trips. We talk about the new color palette coming to Cinderella's Castle, Walt Disney, the animatronic coming to the Carousel of Progress. How about 9-inch nails coming to Tron in the Magic Kingdom? And you better get to Dino Land USA quick if you want to try to capture that iguanodon. This and much more on today's show. Don't forget, our podcast always brought to you by the Magic for Less Travel. We'd love to help you plan your next Disney adventure for no additional cost to you. Check out all the details today over at themagicforless.com. Please also use our Amazon affiliate link when you shop online. That one extra click supports our show every time you use it. So please support the show that way. It's beourguestpodcast.com/Amazon. And thank you so very much to our Patreon supporters. You guys keep us on the air. You can support us just $5 a month. And for that support, you get a bonus show called Mike in the Midwest. Come over this weekend. We'd sure love to have you. Patreon.com/beourguestpodcast.
Ready to take a trip to the world? You found the Be Our Guest Walt Disney World Trip Planning Podcast. This is where your memories come front and center on our podcast stage.
Welcome to episode 2758 of the Be Our Guest Walt Disney World Trip Planning Podcast. I'm your host, Mike Rallman from beourguestpodcast.com and one of the senior agents over at the Magic for Less Travel. Happy Friday to you. Hope you're getting ready for a great weekend. I can't wait. 24 hours from right now, heading out to Columbia, Missouri for a very big football game that we've been waiting for 13 years. And it's going to be a good one, I have a feeling. So can't wait to get back to the zoo, play a little team from the West. And I probably will not have a voice on Sunday when I do Mike in the Midwest. So if you hear some scratchy tones on this week's episode of the Patreon show, I apologize in advance, but it's going to be worth it. I have a feeling. And if I'm not there, who knows what happened on Saturday. So just recording this one. This is Mike in the future. Who knows what it's going to be like. But right now we're talking Disney. We're going to have a great time reflecting on the D23, Destination D23. Let me get that right. Announcements that took place last weekend down at Coronado Springs Resort. I like to think about all the Disney fans sitting around sizzling fajitas at Maya Grill, reflecting on color palettes for Cinderella Castle. How Disney is that? How meta. That was probably awesome. So that's what we're going to do today without the fajitas. Well, virtual fajitas maybe. It depends where you're listening to the show. You might be eating fajitas while you're tuned in. That's a great thing about podcasts. So joining me, we have the OG crew. Ricky's here from DisneyWorldAfterAll.com and the Mouse for Less. Ricky, Fridays are made for fajitas. So hopefully you'll have some fajitas in your future. What's up?
I'm going to have a crying 2-year-old, that's for sure. So, I don't know about fajitas. Maybe Mexican could be in my future. But we shall see what is going to happen this weekend. I don't have any big plans, so we'll see. I think Brian has to work, though, so maybe not a lot. So,
well, you watch the game. It's on ESPN2 tomorrow. It's Saturday.
Yeah, I don't think I'll be doing that either. So.
Yeah. I mean, you're from Missouri. Come on.
Yeah, I don't think I'll be doing that.
The hate. You got to have hate. It's a big thing. Come on, you're from Missouri. Anyway. All right. We have Pam Forrester-Coder of the Magic for Less Travel. Pam, happy Friday. Any big plans for you this weekend?
Happy Friday. We're just doing like regular stuff where, regular fall-ish weekend stuff. So I'm looking forward to it, actually. I've had busy couple of weekends, so
you've been the moving crew for Hannah.
Yes, organizing crew more the work.
Right.
But yes.
All right, so let's get into it. Last weekend, of course, by now most of the Disney fans have probably heard the big announcements that took place down at Walt Disney World during Destination D23, and I guess we should lead with probably the biggest announcement, and kind of we could talk about how we feel about this. The love, I guess we could lead with the love the Carousel of Progress is going to get, which I'm pretty excited about because it means it's going to be sticking around for a little bit, which, over the past decade, there's been speculation, rumors like, is it coming? Is it going? Like, what's going to happen with it? We'd get excited when it got new carpet, new seats, like, woo, it's staying. We have new carpet. Woo. I love the Carousel of Progress. But again, you heard me on Wednesday. I'm old. Like, I like stuff to stay the same. I don't like change bothers my heart. So boom, Carousel of Progress is staying, but there are going to be some changes, but you know what? I'm on board with this. And so the big change is obviously that they're going to bring a Walt Disney animatronic to scene 1. It's kind of set the scene for the entire show, but they're going to give the whole show a little zhuzhing and kind of update, see what the family's been doing over the years and update each of the scenes a little bit. So, Ricky, do you want to plug us in on, did I get that right with what's happening with the updates to Carousel of Progress?
You did get that right. Yeah. So, they're basically going to take Carousel of Progress, that's scene 1, and they're going to add a Walt Disney audio animatronic to that scene 1. So that's going to be really exciting because, that scene 1 currently right now, it just has a gear and it kind of tells the story of, the attraction and how it started at the 1964 World's Fair and stuff like that. So it's going to be really nice to see that there's going to be this audio animatronic that's going to tell this story. And it's going to be of Walt Disney, which is going to be great as well. And the other really great part is hopefully they'll have time to adjust the audio animatronic. So I know that people have had comments about the audio animatronic that is in Disneyland. So hopefully they have some time to just kind of take that in and make some adjustments. But yeah, I'm really excited about this too. I think it's the perfect addition for this attraction, to be perfectly honest. I mean, having Walt tell the story is so huge. So it is Walt Disney's Carousel of Progress. So I feel like that's the best person to tell the story. So yeah, I think it's good. I think it's really good.
Pam, what were your thoughts when you heard about this?
I'm excited. I just, I love Carousel of Progress. I think that it's so cool that it's still in Walt Disney World. First of all, I think it really sort of exposes new generations of people who love Disney World and love Disney in general to see kind of what Walt did. I think the only thing that will sort of hurt my heart is if they take away the narration at the beginning, like that whole, it completely take it away, because I love the explanation that Walt loved progress. And I think that sort of part of what really sort of ties the circle, the Carousel of Progress into that whole Disney sort of feeling, the family and whatnot. I mean, just as long as they say that, I think that will be a part that, I will see. Also, I will love to see what they do with the Walt animatronic, because there's been some definite feelings about the one in Disneyland. So we'll just have to see. And I think that it's always so interesting to do an animatronic of someone that people know so well. And that's always a struggle. So anyways.
See, here's my thought. And I'm with you. Like, I love that introduction. Something about that voice that it's comforting. Like the introduction, like it just, again, I think it's because it's just a part of, like, I've seen the show so many times, and like you sit down, the curtain draws, you see the gear, kind of the lights focus on the gear, and then that voice is just so comforting, right? Reading that introduction, it's like, well, here's progress. Let's see. And then the banjo starts playing. Like, it's like an old friend, like leading us into this great show. And of course that probably will change. In will the Walt animatronic be perfect? Because I haven't seen the one at Disneyland. No, but the thing is, I tell myself it's an animatronic, right? I mean, you got to let yourself kind of use your imagination that it's not going to be perfect, but like the John animatronic in the show is not perfect. I mean, it'll be at least as good as that. That thing's 20 years old or whatever. And I still see that as a guy talking to me throughout the show. Like I suspend, I see that as a person, like during the show the whole time. I've seen that for years and years. Like I see him as a person talking to me, and the Walt's going to be just as good. Of course, Walt is an actual person. John is like a generality, but I don't have a problem with it. I think it'll be nice.
don't either. I rarely have like a strong reaction to things like this, like some people do. And I know some people just feel sort of more connected to, I don't know, they feel a more loyalty maybe to having Disney World and Disneyland be has as it always was. Like there are certain things for them. And I understand that desire to want to sort of protect that. But I think that Carousel Progress is such a great example that Walt did love progress and he meant for these parks to keep evolving. And I love to see each time they make these announcements like that. So it will bring more people into one of my favorite attractions at the world. And so I am all for that 100% all the time. So
I agree. And like Maureen says, she's tuned in on Facebook, was on Carousel of Progress last week, and I'm so excited by this news. I was on this ride at World's Fair in 1964. Made my day that my granddaughter left the ride singing the song. So look at that. I mean, what a connection. She was on the ride in 64 at the World's Fair in New York. And now her granddaughter got to experience it, left singing, "There's a great big beautiful I mean, how, like, it bridges generations. I mean, that isn't that kind of like what we all hope for our Disney vacations, right? Is that we make multi-generational memories. I mean, that, to me, that's exactly why we go.
I mean, I took my grandma on Carousel of Progress, and it was, before she passed away, and it was so cool to get to experience it from her point of view because she lived it. She lived a lot of those times. So getting to talk to her about Carousel of Progress and what she actually experienced was really cool. So that was, you're right. It's all about the generational stuff. So really neat.
So let me ask you this real quick. I don't want to make this the whole show because there's a couple of announcements we've got to tackle. What do you do with the last scene? Like, because they are going to, they're going to get in there and do things. Do you totally update it? I mean, because like we had this discussion, you'll hear it. We heard it yesterday on the call-in show because we talked about this on the Sunday night call-in show last week. And we had some discussions. Dennis talked about this. We had, it's so, that last scene is so problematic, right? Because you can't go with the technology of today because as soon as you do that, it's outdated. Like by the time you finish like doing the work on it, the physical work, like say you go with like the latest version of Chat GPT, like the cutting edge of AI. That next year, that is just way behind already. Things move so fast because like it's so cringy when you see right now the screen with like the VR helmet and they're talking about a car. Every time she says car phone, I just like cry, because like nobody calls it a car phone. Laser disc and stuff like that. Like, Pam, what would you do with the last scene there? Like, because if they're going to go in and do stuff, what do you do?
I think I would sort of have it be, it has to be at the holidays first of all.
Oh yeah. Keep it, please. I love Christmas. Please,
exactly.
please. Yes.
It has to be that. It has to have a few generations of the family. And I think what I might do is have sort of a tongue-in-cheek discussion about all the things that they thought were going to be like the newest thing over, you know what I mean? Let's say the past like 100 years or whatnot. And I might put in a few things that they could easily update for the future. You know what I mean? The future. If you think about it, you could still have the talking oven. That's sort of, that's sort of in the realm of things that are happening now and could still be in the future. Like we don't talk to our oven, but we can control it via an app or whatnot. I wonder if we could hook it up to one of the things, but we don't. Like it's just not something
people do that. Yeah, I mean, I listen to podcasts, people that control, like sous vide
right
ovens
with their
and
voice,
like
and I don't hook everything up to like the A or Nest or any of those things as much as I could because you're just used to doing it, right? I mean, like I press a button, but I know like our refrigerator, like if you leave it open, it notifies us. The A will notify us. The phone will, all of those things. So anyways, you keep some of the fun like things that we've sort of known that scene to be sort of demonstrating. And I think too, it would be a good reflection on how they thought that things were going to be like, this was going to be like the height of progress, right? And then it wasn't because now like everyone has them, or this was going to be the height of progress and then nobody has them. Like we still have flying cars, you know what I mean? Stuff like that. I think that that's always, it's good to reflect on those kind of things. Like we thought like this would be like the computers, like we all hold computers in our hands at this point that were more powerful than anything we had access to, 25, 30 years ago. So I think there's a lot of opportunity to be like, we thought that this would be, something that would be really progressive, and now it's just commonplace. Or we thought that this would be something that we would have by now, and we still don't have it, and stuff like that. If they do it, kind of make, sort of fun of all those things, I think that would kind of be a cool thing.
That'd be cool, because again, they're having that discussion throughout the kitchen and the living room. That'd be the discussion that they're having, like tongue in cheek, with grandpa and grandma and dad and the kid. Exactly. And that would actually be the fun conversation. Ricky, I like that angle, because there's a lot you could do with that. But Ricky, what would you do? Any thoughts? That's a cool angle.
That's kind of the hardest thing, is I don't really know where they could go with it. But that's why the Imagineers are smarter than I am sometimes. I do agree with Pam. I think that they need to keep it the Christmas story, like, the Christmas time period. I feel like they have to do that. But yeah, I don't really know where they could go with it, because there's, the technology is moving so fast right now. So like, I don't really know, because anything that they do would be dated immediately, almost, even more so than it already was. So, I am certain that they have an idea of what they want to do and how they want to continue the story. Hey, maybe we'll see it be like Horizons a little bit, and like that kind of thing at the end. But yeah, it'll be really interesting to see what they come up with, because I honestly have no idea, but I'm excited. And I don't envy the team that has to come up with a solution for this, because I don't think it's going to be an easy fix necessarily. But I think that they're going to come up with a really good option.
I agree. But I like Pam's idea, though. Keep it Christmas, right? Because I like how it moves through the holidays, like through the calendar, through the holidays, sequentially too, through the decades. But I do like that idea of discussion of like technology that we thought was going to be a big thing, but wasn't. And then also, how much technology you have in your hand. You know what I'm saying? Like, because you can keep that pretty general. You don't have to go super general, just like a handheld device. Because
Yes.
I mean, like, we'll probably have, think about like, we'll probably have glasses soon that'll replace phones, I'd say, in the next 20 years. But we could talk about that. Maybe there'll be wglasses, maybe whatever. But, who knows? It's,
If they could do like
interesting.
some furniture that wasn't so date specific, that would be awesome too. Remember the chairs that were sat at the dining room table? Every time they were like those straight back sort of contemporary chairs, and I was just like, oh my gosh,
I love that stuff, though.
like those were in style for like a hot minute. Like maybe
I love that stuff.
we need to have a bit more time on this kind of thing. But yeah.
Man, I love it. Okay, so let's go real quick. This is just a minor thing, but how about that they're tying in that Tron Ares release to, they're going to turn Tron red, but that's not the thing. Like, okay, that's cool. They're going to play Nine Inch Nails. Dude, I was like, so I said this on Sunday Night Show. I'm like, I never thought in the history of this podcast I'd ever be saying that they're going to play Nine Inch Nails at the Magic Kingdom. Because I used to DJ like in the 90s, and like, dude, you did not play Nine Inch. Like, I got in trouble for playing Nine Inch Nails. But they're going to play Nine Inch Nails at the Magic Kingdom. But I've heard from Mike D in the clubhouse that they actually do soundtrack music that's not as heavy as the stuff they did
Trent
back in the day.
too, by himself.
Yeah, okay. See, I didn't know that. So he does soundtrack music. I was thinking like of, like that old song that was like Closer or whatever from the 90s. Dude, that was wild.
You were picturing Closer at the Magic Kingdom.
Yeah, I was like, dude, I got trouble playing that song back in the day. Like, what are they playing? What are they doing? Because I didn't listen to them. I was like, people would ask for that. I'm like, I don't think I can play that. I didn't know. So yeah, I mean, Nine Inch Nails coming to Tomorrowland. There you go. Any thoughts? I mean, it's not hard to do. It's a quick little thing.
No, honestly, it's the soundtracks. It's funny. I have a playlist that I play when I'm working a lot that is just all of movie soundtracks or background, whatever. And it's like that whenever you hear something, it takes you right there to that feeling. So I can see that kind of thing happening here. Interesting for sure. I mean, I think that's the whole thing with the Tron Canopy that I've loved from the beginning, and I know so many other people have too, it has the ability, just by changing the color of it, sort of make that look completely different, don't you think?
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. And, that starts September 15th. So folks coming down, the next, it's going to go into effect like in like a week and a half. So you'll be down there
Right?
soon and get to experience this. And I think it's, it's never going to degrade your experience. You're just going to get a new
No.
music and, it's going to be red instead of blue and whatever orangish color. So I think that's cool. Seasonal things like that are fun.
It's an easy way to make a change for something too.
Yeah, just flip a switch, I guess. I mean, it's probably not that hard. I can't imagine just load in another MP. It's probably more than that, but I don't know. I say it's easy, and it's probably not that easy. But they're like, yeah, kid, it's not that hard. You go do it. You go do it. But whatever. Maybe it's just loading in MP3. All right, so let's talk about the castle. They're going to paint the castle back to the old style. New color palette, grays, back to the, kind of more neutral colors. Get rid of the pinks. Again, I'm liking this. Kind of matches the sky. Some people like the 50th color palette, the pinks and the kind of bling blingy looks grown on people. What say you, Ricky, to this?
I think it's a really good move. The time has come for the castle to be repainted. I mean, it was for the 50th anniversary that they painted it kind of that rose gold color. And now it is time for it to be restored back to its original beautiful colors. So I'm here for it. Let's go. Let's restore that castle and make it the way it was. I think that's a really, really great idea. So I'm here for it. Let's go. Yeah.
And the announcement said it was kind of to bring out the original architecture to kind of, show off that, which, hey, I mean, it's an amazingly beautiful structure. I think a lot of people just kind of pass by and don't, I have luckily kind of over trips where I'm exhausted from like marathon weekend and I just, take it slow because I have to. And I've, just get under the castle and just take pictures shooting up from different angles. And I mean, the turrets and just the details on that castle are amazing. And yeah, so Pam, what do you think though? I mean, you got a good 5-year run there with those new colors. Is it time to go back to the OG palette?
Yeah, I don't think it will be exactly like the OG palette, right? I think they'll probably make that blue a little more, I don't know, sparkly or maybe more vibrant, or something about it will be whatever, something that we, can really sort of connect with more. They always want it to look good in pictures, right? So I think they'll sort of amp up that color a little bit, but it will be the original color palette. And I'm excited about it. And I will tell you, as I was watching all the announcements, the one I saw people talking about the most was this one, that they were just really excited about this. So it sort of gives you sort of some insight into what people really value and enjoy. And Stephen, Hannah, and I were talking about actually the cake, when it was the cake. Remember how people felt very strongly about that? I can see us being at a point where we're almost ready to go back to the cake at some point. There will be a retro cake that comes in.
I would like it. I mean, I saw the cake. I was there one time when the castle was the cake. Mm-hmm. And I'd be for it. I think it was unique. I mean, the thing is, like, the Magic Kingdom is a park that you go to for, it's like fantasy, right? I mean, it's fun. It's make believe. It was a big cake. It was, did it kind of look like Pepto-Bismol? Yeah, but I mean, it was. Now, if I was a bride that was having their wedding, I could see it, like, because I worked in the wedding industry. Like,
I'd lean into it.
Yeah, well, maybe brides. I worked with a lot of bridezillas. It was never good. I mean, you like, I don't have like your 17th favorite song, and they just go wild. I'm like, dude, who cares? We don't have "Can't Touch This" in 1999. Sorry, we'll play "Too Legit to Quit." Oh my God, my wedding's ruined. Sorry. But I could imagine if you showed up at the castle, looked like a cake. I mean, holy cow, blow a gasket, But holy smoke, I could have seen that. But yeah, I could, the thing is, like, the nostalgia is going to come around for that cake. I think it already is, because like people were making shirts and stuff for that cake castle. Mm-hmm. I don't know.
Yeah,
I could see it.
Oh, and Hannah and her friends, like that generation, are like, we wanted to see the cake. We would love to see the cake. I'm like, okay.
Yeah, I mean, And this new, like the new kind of old palette, the one they're going to with the grays and the blues, to me it like looks really good against the Florida sky, like that blue Florida sky. It's gonna look good. But what do you think? What made them decide to go back to this? Because for part of me, I thought they were gonna leave it pink. Like what meeting said
I
we
did
need
too,
to go
actually,
back.
yeah.
I kind of figured it was going to be pink forever. I thought, well, they're kind of happy with it. I wonder what gave them at some meeting to say, you know what, we need to go back to the original castle. I always wonder, like, what gave them the impetus to say we need to do this.
You want to be there to like hear. I want to be like a fly on the wall.
Yeah, same. I need
hear.
to know like who brought this up and said, yeah, you know what, you're right. We should probably go back to the old style.
Well, I feel like they're making so many changes to Magic Kingdom at this point, and they were like, what other changes can we make in this park? So like Magic Kingdom is going to see a huge renaissance, I think, in the next, 5 years, let's be honest. So I think that the park is going to need a new sparkle, a new sheen, and I think that this is going to be, it's all going to be tied in together of hey, look at how glorious the Magic Kingdom is at this point. So, and actually, depending on how long all of this takes, we'll be backing up to the 60th anniversary. So, I hope they're not hoping for that, for it to go into the 60th, but they could be. So, you never know where they're going to go with this, but we're getting close to that 60. So, it could have something to do with, we're tying it all in together, and we're going to celebrate the Magic Kingdom again now that it'll be at 60th. So who knows? We'll see.
Because the 60th, hopefully, obviously the 50th got totally hosed with.
Oh yeah,
COVID.
Totally. Yeah, 100%.
That's just such a negative memory of that, but hopefully 60 is great. Let's hope.
Redo.
100%. So we did get some news on just, kind of Villains Land. They're giving us it's going to be called Conjured Architecture. I'm not into architecture a whole lot, but they kind of told us a little bit about that. So we're going to get some, it's going to be villainy, Art Nouveau. I'm not hip on all that, but if you are, you could check that out on the parks blog. It's going to look all kind of dark and ominous, I guess. Right? You're muted.
Stormy.
Yeah.
I don't know. Something like that. Yeah.
Conjured Architecture. Gothic.
Very gothic.
Very spooky, I'm sure. It's Villains Land. Sure. So we got that. But one other thing that we did find out, though, is that if you are a fan of dinos and you want to save the iguanodon, if you want to help out Dr. Seeker, and you want to go on one more unauthorized mission over in Dinoland USA, which that's the only thing left at this point, you have to do that by February 1st. 2026, because that's when Dinosaur closes forever, as they said in the Sandlot. So Ricky, I know it's one of your favorite all-time attractions. Are you sad?
There's not enough excitement in my life to say that I'm not sad about this closing at all. I know it has its fans. I know that there are people that love Dinosaur. I am not one of them. I absolutely cannot stand that attraction. I have been on it one time and one time only, and I closed my eyes and cried the whole time. It is not for me. It is just not, I'm not going to miss it at all. And I'm actually really excited for Indiana Jones. They cannot put Indiana Jones in fast enough because that is an attraction I will ride. So this actually gives me another attraction to experience at Disney's Animal Kingdom at that point, which will make it more of an extended day park for now for me because, I always just skip Dinosaur. So, bye, good riddance. Not going to miss you. Sorry. And I didn't enjoy you. You were not for me, but that's okay. Not everything is for me, and I know that.
Interesting take. Okay, so Pam, let me ask you about this because you have Dinosaur East Coast, you have Indiana Jones on the West Coast, same ride mechanism, two very different experiences, but I like Dinosaur. I'm a fan of Dinosaur. I like Indiana Jones better. Indiana Jones obviously has a lot more. I think has a lot more going on. It's way better to me. But what are your thoughts on this going away?
Yeah, I think that Indiana Jones, even though they're the same mechanism and the same sort of ride, just different theming, is definitely a better experience, but I don't know how much better it is. You know what I mean? Like, I know it's better, but I'm not like, oh, it's hugely better. There's something about maybe the fact that I remember doing, Dinosaur from the very beginning, and remember that whole thing, just sort of, to get us where we are here right now. And I'm with you. I sort of like Dinosaur too. I mean, I don't have a problem with it. It was interesting to see the evolution of Animal Kingdom Park, and that was sort of an anchor for that area, right? The dinosaur attraction. So I think in that respect, maybe I'll miss that just a little bit, because it was kind of a unique sort of area of the park. But I'm looking forward to what they're going to do with this. I mean, I think there's so much potential there, and it'll be good to see this, sort of evolve.
No, I'm with you, but I mean, I'm with you too. I remember Countdown to Extinction before they, changed the name.
Yes.
And back in its earliest days, I was actually, do you remember? It was a good point, because think about it. A lot of kids love dinosaurs, like it seems like, especially like boys go through like a dinosaur obsessed like stage of their life. I mean, I was one of those kids, and my nephew did it. He has all he goes to Hobby Lobby and gets like the bag of, it's like you can buy little bags of little miniature dinosaurs, and he knows all their names. Yeah. And he lines them up and everything. He's amazing. Yeah. He knows all their names. It's so cool. But, I wish that there was still, because that's like something the kid, but again, that's not really like a kid friendly attraction either. Like, it's pretty terrifying for like a 4 or 5 year old, height, right? I mean,
42-year-old, it's fine.
Like that. But I mean, you gotta be like 48 inches to ride that thing, or what was the height limit on that thing? You gotta be like 4 foot. I mean, so I guess like what I'm saying is like 7-year-olds are not riding it. I see little kids on that thing though. I mean, pretty small, not small kids, but like 3 or maybe 3rd or 4th graders are on that thing. I can't remember how tall you got to be. I've seen some younger kids on that sucker though, because I see the like ride pictures. There's some younger kids on that thing.
Yeah, I agree. I
don't have to be that tall, I don't think, because you basically just got to see. Basically, you're just in a Jeep, riding in a rough road. I mean, it's pretty rough, but what I'm saying is a lot of kids have this dinosaur obsession, which I think that's a cool way. And if you think about it too, nobody ever talks about the pre-show. That Bill Nye pre-show thing was pretty cool. Like where he talked about all the eras and, the meteor wiping out. A lot of times you zoom through that, but back in the day when you had long lines, you had to sit in that rotunda. That was a neat part.
Yeah, you saw it many times.
Yeah,
sometimes.
But it was neat. I mean, that's one of the things that we don't talk about a lot, is that, Disney does pre-shows and like holding areas so well. And it was, it was you didn't want to wait in it, but you had to, and it was pretty neat to do that. But anyway, that was one of those things I really enjoyed. Here's kind of a side tangent on that. Did you guys ever get to see Lucky the dinosaur walk around at Animal Kingdom? Mm-hmm. Yeah, I did too.
I missed it, but
that thing was so cool. Like we just happened to be there one day when it was walking around. That thing was unreal. Like
it was.
It was unreal. Like because I got pictures of it on my phone, and it was just like the thing was wild. I mean, this must have been 15 years ago,
right?
At least,
yeah.
Like that thing was just roaming. Like it had like a cart on it or something, and that sucker was just it was walking right by where Triceratops spin was. Just roaming, little dinosaur. It was the craziest thing ever.
And the height requirement for dinosaurs is only 40 inches. So it's a low requirement.
Yeah. And so, if you have short kids, make them ride it one last time. If they don't like it, they'll be gone anyway. Make them ride it.
That's why I always said to Hannah, you got to ride it once. And if you don't like it, then you don't have to do it again.
See, this is absolutely true for this case. Like it's going to be gone, Like tell them, look, kid, get on it. I promise you I'm not going to make you ride again, because Disney's going to demolish this sucker on February 1st. I cannot make you ride it. It's going to get changed to Indiana Jones, unless you have a fear of archaeologists. Then
and
you're
how
good.
About the fact, can we talk about how we continue to do Indiana Jones themed things
when we have not had a hit movie in,
it's been a while. It's been a while. Yes.
Yeah.
I think that's interesting. It's interesting how some things stay, right? And other things are like, oh, we're redoing this because
we're going
like,
all in on this.
yes.
This is perfect. Let's do Indiana Jones again. We've completely screwed it up other times, but that's fine. Let's just keep going with it. Yeah. They couldn't have come up with another idea, but that was the easy idea, I'm sure.
So our last Indiana Jones movie was in 2023.
Yeah,
but that was one people hated, right? Well. That was one people didn't like, right? Except
it had Harrison Ford in it.
Yeah,
and Harrison Ford came back for that one.
Yeah, but it did not do well. I can tell you that. So
I wonder if people like Indiana Jones or if people like Harrison Ford.
Good question.
Because people tend to like Harrison Ford, I think. But yeah, the Tropical Americas, though, that land's going to be awesome. And with the Boneyard closing this past week, they announced. I thought I saw they announced that on that exact spot is where that carousel is going to go. Isn't that kind of cool? Like where the playground was, boom, that's where the carousel is going to sit. That's kind of fun.
Parents can breathe a sigh of relief because the Boneyard was like, your kid always wanted to go to it, but it was like sand everywhere. They got sand everywhere. It felt like you never could exactly keep track of your child.
But you knew they were in there. That was the good news. Like you knew because it was a gate.
You knew you were in there. You didn't know where, but they were in there somewhere.
Yeah, exactly. It was like a cruise ship. Like you knew they were on the ship. Like they were there. Didn't know where. And I remember because you're right. Like one time with Mallory, man. Because it had that super tall thing that you could climb. Like I remember, because I'm 6'3", I was climbing that thing looking for her. Because Pam's like, "Where'd she go?" I'm like, "Dude, I was just like eating a French fry because the trilobites or something was across the way, the McDonald's, and I was like, I dipped my fry in a couple of ketchup for a second, dude, and she was gone. I'm like, so we freak out, I'm like, this is the second time we're parenting. Like we're not even new parents. How do we lose her? So I'm like climbing up that thing. I'm 6'3", and then I had to go down the dang slide, that twisty slide. I'm like, holy smokes. I'm like,
it always felt 10 degrees hotter.
Oh God, it was in the summers like July because we're teachers. It was the worst. It was like punishment for being a bad parent. Oh.
Like whose idea was this? Kids, your play area is going to be in the desert.
Yes. And it had like a rubbery sponge, ground on the
and you'll
part.
Like it.
Yeah. But it was a good playground. If you're a kid, it was awesome. Like it was
I guess, but it was just like a nightmare. I will
anyway
breathe a sigh of relief for that.
We'll have a carousel. It'll be easier.
Just rejoice.
Get on a not a horse, but I guess it'll be dinosaurs or whatever to ride on. Hopefully.
Yes.
No, it's going to be Disney characters. I think that's what it's going to be. Like woodland animal versions of Disney characters. I think
it's like Bambi.
Something like that.
So you get to ride Bambi.
Disney character. There you go. All right. So I think that's it for our announcements and our takes. Now it's your turn to let us know. You could do that on Sunday night. We did that last Sunday night. We'll have some other topics to talk about. But join us Sunday night for the live call-in show. Scotty G is back from his cruise. He'll talk all about sailing in the flag stateroom. Yes, he was in 6192. Had the flag. I don't know if he went out there on the flagpole or not. I don't know if he flew a different flag. Hopefully not. But he was all about it. That veranda was gigantic. I know one of our other listeners booked that veranda this week because Scott showed how big it was. So if you telling you, it's a big deal. So we'll talk about that in his cruise. He went to he dined at Remy while he was there. He said the meal took 4 hours. So we'll get some highlights from that. I'm like, what was your entree? He's like, dude, I had like 9 courses. I'm like, well, what was one of the entrees? He was excited to FaceTime. I'm like, tell me about it. Anyway, we'll talk about that on Sunday night. So join us 7 o'clock Eastern, 6 o'clock Central, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, or Twitch, and give us a call. Let's talk Disney Sunday. Don't forget this podcast and all of our podcasts always brought to you by the Magic for Less Travel. We'd love to help you plan your next Disney adventure for no additional cost to you. Check out all the details today over at themagicforless.com. Please also use our Amazon affiliate link. It's beourguestpodcast.com/Amazon. And thank you to our Patreon supporters. You guys make this possible. So thank you so much for that. You can support us just $5 a month. And for that support, you get a bonus show called Mike in the Midwest every week. Come on over this weekend. We'd love to have you at patreon.com/beourguestpodcast. You can follow us on the social media. I'm at beourguestmike on Instagram, Twitter, and Threads. You can follow Pam at TMFLTPam. You can follow Ricky at Ricky Nibs, RIKKINIBS. And the place you want to hang out, it's free for everybody. We'll give you a big old welcome when you come over. It's the Be Our Guest Podcast Clubhouse. It's our Discord server. We'd love to have you. It's like a live chat, kind of like an old IRC or message boards. And it's free for everybody. So come on over. It's beourguestpodcast.com/clubhouse. We'll be looking for you this weekend. All right, till Sunday night, we get all back together. Hope you have a great weekend. So for Pam and Ricky, I'm Mike saying beat KU and MIZ. We'll see you real soon.
You've been listening to the Be Our Guest Walt Disney World Trip Planning Podcast. If you have questions, comments, or would like to be a guest on the show, please visit our website at beourguestpodcast.com. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you real soon.